bringing you the latest Arizona high school football recruiting news year-round. This is the Recruiting Roundup on ProsToPreps.com.
It's time for the Roundup. Jason Jewell, Mr. Breaking News Man. My name is Jared Cohen. Every week we bring you the latest in Arizona high school football recruiting. We do it year-round, twice a week. And what a weekend it was this past weekend, especially if you're an Arizona Wildcat fan. Sorry, Sun Devils. It was a huge weekend for the Arizona Wildcats. They introduced their Lowell Stevens brand new facilities. Eric Sorensen was down there, did a story on it. And it's a game changer from a recruiting standpoint. And it started right from the bat. Trevor Wood from Chaparral commits to the U of A while he's down there visiting.
Yeah, he was the first commit of that day. They ended up having 4 commitments. 6'6", 240 pounds was a huge get for U of A. Currently a 3-star recruit, on the verge of being a 4-star player. His dad played there. His mom went there. His brother plays there. His sister is about to graduate from U of A, so he's going to continue with that family legacy and be a Wildcat.
So from a Trevor Wood standpoint, you talk about the legacy down there, but from a football standpoint, how does teaming up with Rich Rodriguez benefit his game?
Well, he's a kid, could play on either side of the ball, but they're recruiting him as a tight end. They see him, they're calling him Little Gronk down there, so that's how they see him fitting in their system.
Another commitment that came down late Saturday, right before all of us went to sleep. In fact, Jason was down in Tucson. He was busy driving down the 10. Chandler safety J.R. Hunt, hard-hitting safety. He made his commitment as well.
Yeah, very, very late Saturday night, like 10:30 at night. Picked the Wildcats over offers from Arizona State, Montana, and a handful of other mid-major schools. But like you said, hard-hitting safety could actually end up bulking up and being an outside linebacker at the next level. Kid I really, really like. Big fan of him.
And J.R. Hunt's been through a lot over the course of his high school career. How excited for you as just from covering a guy like this to see him end up committing to you?
Yeah, especially his father passed away last year early and had all of that going on. Very big for J.R. Hunt and his family.
So in the meantime, those are some of the commitments. U of A also got a couple from around the country, one namely 3-star quarterback Brandon Dawkins out of Westlake Village, California. Another big-time Arizona recruit on the offensive line, Laith Frick. He added Arizona, among other schools, to his top 4.
Yeah, he named the top 4 late Saturday night also. It was Arizona, Washington, Nebraska, and Oregon in no particular order. He said he's going to visit probably Oregon. Already has a visit scheduled with Nebraska as well, considering taking an official visit down to the U of A. But he said those are his likely top 4. He said Arizona State is still in the mix, talking to him very heavy though.
Now, Jason, we mentioned already the Lowell Stevens facility. It could be a game changer for U of A. You were down there. You saw it firsthand. Who are the list of the other local players that were present to see kind of more or less this grand opening from a recruit and season ticket holder standpoint?
Well, obviously, the kids from Tucson are a big contingency there. Cameron Denson, Kalen Naboski, Matt Bushman, Andrew Mike were a few. Quinn Bailey from Higley, Ishmael Murphy-Richardson, and Dylan Carey, a guard from Desert Edge, came out, as well as Jared Cody, Glendale Community College, is already committed, and Patrick Glover, a corner from Scottsdale Community College. They were all there.
And then there was a Mountain Point presence as well. Jalen Brown, one of the top wide receivers in the country, was there. And then another player that a lot thought might commit, there was a rumor that he would commit that weekend, was Jalen Brown's teammate on the offensive and defensive line, Natrell Curtis, but that didn't end up happening.
Yeah, it didn't happen. There was a big rumor going around that he was going to commit to the U of A. At the end of the day, he said that U of A is still very, very high on his list, but he wants to look at some other schools and see what else is out there, so he didn't end up committing.
So Natrell Curtis, recruitment still very much alive. And finally, the last thing to mention came down Monday night. Jason Jewell, the first to report. Former Chaparral quarterback, originally at with the Texas Longhorns. He announced his transfer and he committed to U of A, just another very big-time player that U of A landed in the last week or so.
Yeah, Connor Brewer. So there's a tie, obviously, with Chaparral and Coach Regal being at the U of A. Connor Brewer transfers from Texas to the University of Arizona. He's not going to play right away. Per NCAA guidelines, he has to sit out 1 season, but he's already redshirted. So after he does sit out, he'll have 3 more years to play at U of A.
And you talk about Connor Brewer coming in. We mentioned Brandon Dawkins, a new Solomon who went head-to-head with Connor Brewer when they were both in high school. when he was at Bishop Gorman. You're talking about a logjam of quarterbacks here. Where do you think Connor Brewer fits in this mix?
Right, we can't forget Jesse Scroggins, USC transfer that's there as well. We're going to see, he has a long time before he's going to have to actually suit up and play. He's a kid, though, that obviously does have talent. Was recruited by Texas, Alabama, Arkansas, had multiple big offers coming out of high school. So the talent is there. If he picks up the system, you never know what's going to happen. You got to have some young kids like Solomon, see if Scroggins recovers from that injury. He could end up being in the mix at quarterback at U of A.
So there you have it, Wildcat fans. Huge weekend for you. It was big time in terms of the recruitment, but also for your facilities moving forward. Could be a sign of things to come down in Tucson. Until next time, Jason Jewell, Jared Cohen. This has been the Recruiting Roundup on ProsToPreps.com.